What up, people? Y'all already know. It's your boy, the Latin assassin himself. What it do with Big Lou? Baby. So, I got a ton of things I want to be dropping, hopefully, in the next couple of days. I've been saying that for the past week or so. Um, but this is one that I lightweight. I kind of touched on this a few different times on a few different videos here and there over the past, I don't know, year and a half or whatever it's been. Probably a year and a half. Uh, and as you guys can tell from that thumbnail, game goofy, right? It's pretty self-explanatory. Game goofy, right? And this goes out to a lot of. This goes out to. This goes out to a few content creators out there, and this also goes out to a lot of people in the chat, right, or the comment sections. That they're just game goofy, especially those ones that try to prove. They're trying to prove that they know what time it is, you know. Like trying to prove that, oh yeah, I was on the street and, I left home at 14 or 15, 16, whatever it was, and I had to do, basically saying that they're street smart, basically, that they had to do what they had to do to come up to eat and stuff like that. Yeah, I could believe that. There's a lot of truth to that, but not in the manner that you're making yourself an ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, in other words, the things that you had to struggle with while you're on the street are nothing to do or even similar to the things that people do on the street when they're in a criminal lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? So in other words, here you are 16 years old, you're panhandling somewhere trying to get money to eat or whatever. Or you're pickpocketing people, or you're looking for somebody to put down a bag or a briefcase and you run and grab it. Whatever the hell it is, whatever the situation is, uh, that's somewhat being street smart, doing what you gotta do, that old that thing, follow the cups. You got the little ball underneath, shit like that, hustling. But I couldn't think of the name of the game, right? You're hustling people, right? Yeah, you might be hustling people doing that, and you're panhandling, and you're, you know, maybe jumping over some type of, maybe you're sneaking on the bus or sneaking on the train without paying your fees and all that type of stuff. But again, that doesn't have nothing to do with somebody that's out there in the streets hustling, doing illegal activities. And I mean real serious illegal activities, things that'll land you in the joint. You sneaking on a bus ain't gonna land you in the pen. It's gonna land you with the fine, you know what I'm saying? Things like that. But it's just comical when you hear these people trying to explain that no, you're wrong. I'm street smart. I've been around and da. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're full of shit, because if you were, you wouldn't have to even talk the way you talk. You're trying to make it. You're trying to pound it into somebody that you are the way you are the way you are because you've been there and done that. You know what I'm saying? Um, you know, uh, a few of these people too, man. They constantly patting themselves on the back. You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, you're doing okay. I mean, can you live off what you're making? Yeah, you should be able to. I mean, not no extravagant lifestyle or nothing like that, but you should be able to. And then you get a partner. You get a partner. Puppy biting my hand right now. You get a partner, and then you got to split everything with him, right? And some of these guys, you can tell that and this is from the outside looking in. Obviously, it seems like the partner. If it wasn't for that partner, you wouldn't be sitting where you're at. And that partner brings a lot to the table, and that partner is what brought the game up. You know what I'm saying? Um, and then on top of that, you got partners that hurt each other, right? Because they're not on the same page, and some of them might carry themselves like straight dodo birds, right? Or tontorontos, right, or whatever. And they hurt them more than help them. Um, and then you got guys that are like, oh well, you got some of these guys say the same thing as what I'm going to say now as other guys. Excuse me. I'm a reporter. I'm a journalist, right? Excuse me. I'm a journalist and da 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 da. So, in my opinion, just like if you become a cop or you become whatever you become, right? Especially a cop, because they what they deal with, right? You shouldn't be judged. You shouldn't be like judging nobody. You should just do your job, and that's it. Especially if you put it out there like that. Oh, I've never been part of that life. I've never even been in a fist fight. You know what I'm saying? Uh, that was asked one time. These guys were talking. They were on a live stream, and they were talking about little war stories. That they've been through with getting jumped or, but by a few guys or getting busy with a couple of guys or whatever. They get around to him and they ask him, and he stays silent for a second, and then he goes, "I threw a rock at a window," and those guys started busting up. I don't even think they all even caught it. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's just sounded so damn ridiculous to say. Like, you know what I mean? It's just stupid, man. And I don't know. You threw a rock. You should have just kept quiet. I mean, you know what I mean? Anyways, hey, leave her alone. Anyways, it's like, yeah, I'm a journalist. I do journalism, and so basically, when I said you should just do your job, that's saying keep your personal opinions out of shit, right? Because as we know and we've seen in this so-called mob genre, I'm not in the mob genre because I talk about all kinds of different stuff. You see guys that are flip-flopping like a motherfucking fish out of water, man. You know what I'm saying? One week they're not cool with this one, the next week they are cool with them, and then the fourth week of that same month, they're back to not being cool with them or whatever, vice versa. It's crazy. I never seen some funny ass, styling ass shit, man, in my life. You know what I'm saying? It's a trip, man. It's a trip. I can't understand. I don't understand it. And so another thing too, man, it's like, and I've seen this on multiple channels. They have a crowd in their chat, and they're over there reading stuff, but not knowing what that goes to, and then they get offended, right? They get offended, or they start running their fucking mouth, smart mouth and shit. You know what I mean? When if you don't really understand what's being said there, or it doesn't really make sense what you're saying, then obviously there's other people talking in the chat or something. You know what I'm saying? So all of a sudden, this now all of a sudden you're being called, you're being called, you're being negative and da da da. You know what I'm saying? Nobody was being negative. Somebody asked a question in the chat, and a few of us started saying it. Few of us started saying, answering what the person asked, and it had nothing to do with the content creator we were on. They were asking that content creator, what do you think about another guest of another content creator? And so I answered it in the chat too to the people. There was a couple of us answered, and they were just like, I was like, yeah, he said he was, he's Spanish, he's half. I don't know if he was Mexican or legitimately Spanish from Spain, his father, but he has a Spanish last name, and supposedly he took the oath, and this was in Denver, Colorado, and but so they're asking this content creator, what do you think about that? And he really didn't know. He didn't really know the story, but he knew of the of the channel, right? And so this guy says that he took the oath, right? The omerta and all that, right? But that the guy that pulled him, the guy that sponsored him and all that, made him, told him that at no time will this be your membership would not be, this won't be recognized by anybody but us right here. So I don't know if it was some like secret, internal ceremony, or if the guy's just full of straight up poop. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure. But anyways, I just said, hey, he said his dad was Spanish. He said he took the oath, just what I just said right now. And I put it in the comment. And then this dodo bird puts it up on the screen, and he starts reading it. And he's talking about the guest he's going to be bringing on. And that what I said had nothing to do with that. And so there he goes with his little smart ass mouth, because if you don't go along with what he says, or if you got anything that goes against what he says, with like any type of even constructive criticism, he's got a little smart mouth, to say shit back, right? So right away it's like, oh, he didn't say that about his dad, or he didn't say that happened. He never took an oath. And he's talking about his freaking guest coming up, though, right? Which I'm not even talking about. And I never go to this dude's channel. I'm never even negative in the comments. It's like, you should know me by now that I don't be negative. You know what I'm saying? I don't go at people talking shit in the comments or none of that. You know what I'm saying? No shit like that. So anyways, so he says, oh, Oh, what you know everything just because you're Latino? Like, okay, now you're going there. You know what I'm saying? If it so it's like if it didn't make sense to what was being said in the comment, then why even touch it? Why are you even commenting on it? If you don't really understand what I'm saying, you're taking it somewhere else. So obviously you don't understand what I'm saying. So I mean, if you're so damn smart like you think you are, you would put that together. You know what I'm saying? You would just be like, oh, you got to be talking about something else, or you got to be talking to somebody in the chat, something. You know what I mean? But it's just crazy. No more. You can do that shit to other people. You ain't doing that shit to me. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? I reached out too, and I emailed that person too, and of course they didn't answer. You know, because it's coward shit. You know what I'm saying? Coward shit, and you know, and I just get, you know, these people get so smart mouth over the fucking over the thing, over the computer, and you know, over this shit, cameras and shit, and you know damn well they ain't gonna bust a motherfucking grape if you're in front of them, right? Because they've proved it already. They've been popped a few times by people, different times here and there, and they ain't did nothing. You know what I'm saying? And they didn't do a damn thing, and then get on the fucking thing, and get on here, and then fucking uh dry snitch all day about it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, well, I could. Good thing I'm not a guy that calls the cops and say it over and over and over again on your show. What are you saying it over and over again on the show for? That's dry snitching. That's a form of dry snitching. Maybe somebody else will do it. That's what that is. You know what I'm saying? And then the other motherfucker, he's out there talking about fucking he got smacked and he didn't do shit about it. You know, but he got real serious when he got to that because he knows he's a fucking straight coward. You don't let nobody smack you. I don't give a fuck how long you've known him. You don't just let him smack you. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, they're not cool with you if they're gonna smack you. You know what I'm saying? And it's obvious that you're just a poo butt ass mofo that ain't gonna do that jack shit about it. Therefore, you should keep your mouth shut about certain things. You know what I'm saying? The way you say certain things and the certain things that you talk about. Maybe you should just keep your fucking mouth shut. You know what I'm saying? And maybe those things won't happen. You know what I'm saying? But just to sit there like a little fucking mark and be like, oh, I didn't, oh, I just took it. You know? I don't give a fuck if you're coming from a game, the bar, fucking the park playing basketball, walking your fucking dog, dropping your car off at the shop and you're walking back home, whatever the hell it is. You don't just get smacked. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. That's bullshit. And obviously they smacked you because they had good reason to smack you. You probably said something about a family member or something. I forgot exactly. I never heard what the reason was, but I think it has something to do with that. You know what I mean? But just a lot of these motherfuckers, man, just need to stay in their fucking lane. It's been said before many times. I'm not the only one. You know what I mean? And then too, there's all these motherfuckers want to talk about. I don't like them. It's not. I don't. It's not that I don't like them. I downright hate them or some shit. Motherfucker says, right? Talking all this shit, and I bet you 9 times out of 10, that motherfucker, and most of all these motherfuckers, they see anybody that they know is a rat, they ain't gonna do nothing to him. They ain't gonna do shit to him. Nothing. Nothing. The ones that got this biggest mouths on here aren't gonna do a damn motherfucking thing. Nothing. All talk. You know what I'm saying? The best you'll do, if anything, is and I said this, I don't know how many times. If you're out in public and you're at a freaking bus stop or a train station, the subway, and you recognize somebody, you're just gonna get away from them, right? If you're at the doctor's office, you're at the dentist, you're at a probation department, the parole department, and you see somebody that's no good, you might just move away. That's all you're gonna do. I mean, I wouldn't expect you to beat up on nobody in the parole office or probation office, but you're still gonna get away from them, and that's as further as it's gonna go. But maybe those are probably two. I should have not mentioned those because there's cameras everywhere. Okay, but still, nonetheless, it doesn't take from the point there. You know what I'm saying? The point is, it's all rah, 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 all that rah rah shit, tough guy shit, self soldier, keyboard warrior bullshit, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's bullshit, straight bullshit. And you motherfuckers that do this shit are ain't nothing but coward ass jokes. You know what I mean? And you other motherfuckers that are content creators, do your content, dude. Do your content. You know what I'm saying? And leave certain things out your mouth. You never been there. You never been there. You never done it. You never done nothing. Pretty much, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? As far as anything goes, you know what I mean. You know, you're not about that life. You never were about that life. You know what I'm saying? We're not talking. I'm not talking about no. And if you, I'm not talking. I don't know. And what I was gonna say was, I'm not talking no nickel and dime bullshit either. That ain't what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about being involved in some real shit that would send you to prison, taking penitentiary chances. You know what I'm saying? None of you motherfuckers are about that. I'm not, and not everybody. When I say all you, nothing about that. I'm talking about content creators. Some of these content creators. You know what I mean? Um, they talk a good one, and they're like that. Remember that wrestler Barry Horowitz? He's always used to pat his own back when they used to announce him. That's what these fools do, man. It sounds ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? The way you go about it, the way you just the way you it's the way it ain't even it's not even about you bragging about you do something well. It's the way you go about doing it. You know what I'm saying? You got no personality. You're fucking. You know what I'm saying? I'm speaking of one in general right now. You ain't got no personality. You have no conversation if it's not going your way. You know what I'm saying? You act like whatever's being talked about is something that you know back and forth, right? In and out, and all that. And another thing too, I was gonna say, like when motherfuckers speak about old time motherfuckers, like from way back when, or not even that, just like things that, like guys from way back, not way back, but the '70s and all that. Excuse me. And then here this guy comes and certain people say, oh, people get stuff out of Wikipedia. Well, yeah, that's true. Some people do. But it's like everything when they're say the story about, well, for example, we'll say Joe the Cat, right? Laforte. He was out there in Staten Island before there was a bridge, and he's been in Staten Island for years, right? So somebody will come on and tell a story about him, and they'll just say like, "Oh yeah, he got big into the real estate. The Ravenite was his building. Blah blah blah. Bookmaking. Shylocking, and he was over here at this and that. It's like every gangster got the same story. Like, you know what I mean? Pretty much. Like, come on, man. It's like you're getting stuff from most of that paperwork is all people that were telling, right? Or what the uh the agent that's doing his report, because from my understanding, a 302 is anytime an agent puts something in a file. I think anytime he files something, it's a 302, I believe. If I'm not correct about that, I guess somebody will tell me in the comment section. But other than a proffer session, the 302s from that, I believe 302 is also anytime they put, like I just said, anytime they do any type of paperwork, they can put it could be anything could be written down on there, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know if somehow the DA gets a hold of it, the US DA, or whatever, but it's like like I said, every gangster has the same freaking story. Bookmaking, shylocking, you know what I'm saying? Numbers, it's like they don't know everybody's shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Like even that Forbes magazine, the 50th the 50th the 50 rich bosses, right? But you got captains in there, right? Even I think Ralph Scopple's name was in there. He's a soldier, right? So they're calling everybody a boss. Um, they got Tony Salerno number 1, right? I mean, but how do you come up with these numbers? That's another thing I tripped out. Like, how do they come out with these numbers? Oh, the DEA said that so and so's he's the head of the cartel, and it said that they make $500 million a year just in California alone. It's like, where do they come up with these numbers? You know what I'm saying? It's impossible. It's impossible to do that. But anyways, it's just a little video. I'm about to cut it short right here, and it went a lot longer than I thought it was gonna go, 20 minutes. But just a little bit about these game goofy ass mofos, man, that need to really just stick to what they know and what they call themselves being their job, journalists, sticking to the script and stop putting their personal opinion and shit, and always trying to, you know, when it fits their narrative, be a tough guy, and be all that, then some, and be all good in Hollywood. You feel me? So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and tap on out. Big Lou.